Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Yeah, James.
Hello.
Oh, boy.
I just had to do a line really quick.
Yeah. You had to pump a little drugs into your system.
No big.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
Made it. So, nooners. It's noon in Texas, okay?
So.
It's noon somewhere.
But they know.
They know
how fast and loose we play.
Man,
Noon.
I am feeling it today, Jabes.
Me too.
We got everybody moved back to Texas. Kids are moved back. You're moved back. We were physically all living in the same house together for the first time in 4 months. I want to say thank you to USAA. That's there's a reason why there's a title of the show. They're not a sponsor. I have been with them for 20 years, something like that. Obviously, it's a military insurance. Most of my family is military, so it gets passed down through the generation to other kids. My grandparents had it.
We get to benefit from their sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. But then, my parents had it, and then it came down to me. Obviously, I was not in the military. However, most of my family was. And my grandfather said this to me. He said, look, I think I was 16 years old or something like that. He was just like, look, USAA the premium's going to be a tad higher. He goes, I promise you, you will go through something awful in your life that will require this insurance. And he goes, they will not let you down, and they will be there right away. When the insurance adjuster called me personally, we had chatted a little bit, and I said, look, man, this is a big job. It ended up being $218,000 in damage to the house. You could see the studs through the thing, and if Mike Boscovich is in here, he can attest to that. And they said it was going to take probably 4 to 6 months. Came in on the low end. The other part about this was they said, sir, we realize what you're going through. You probably don't have any clothes, and you need a place to live and all that other stuff and blah, blah, blah. They cut a check within 48 hours. They paid for everything in record time. I did not have to haggle with them. I did not have to fight with them. When I lost that house in Hurricane Sandy in 2011 or whatever it was a mom and pop insurance, went bankrupt, and they ran out of there like it was Boiler Room, like the end of the movie Boiler Room. I physically saw her leaving. Yeah.
R.I.P.
To
How You Brewin'? What was the insurance company called?
Yeah, exactly. I don't
know.
I don't even remember at this point.
I think it was literally called Mom and Pop.
And Pop.
M&P. M&P Insurance, I think.
And so, but I didn't have a choice because USAA didn't insure along the shoreline, and I understand with hurricanes and everything else. So, smart business decision. But I said, look, if you guys come through, I will praise your name on air. We've gone after people on the show who've done shitty jobs or shitty things in our school system or with carpet or whatever it is. But I'll also praise people, and again, not a sponsor, but God damn, that was the best insurance of all time. They took care of everything. The 4-month thing was with the GC. That's it. And even he was great. Like, look, he finished on time. Yes. Probably made a decent chunk of change for himself, but that's another story.
I know, but we do always say you get what you pay for.
Correct.
And look, you do great work and you're really quick, you're going to get paid to do that.
Yeah.
Right? That's just how it goes.
Nick, do you have my phone? Just go to the contacts and type in USAA. There was a guy the insurance adjuster who helped me.
Darby.
There you go. Calendar's good to go too. Hey, come on in camera, Nick. We talk about Nick a lot. He's there it is.
Nick.
Round of applause. There he is. Nick is taking care of all of our lives inside the studio.
Speech.
Yeah, speech. There it is. There it is. Thank you, Giorgio. Thank you, Giorgio. Hammer the like button if you're watching on YouTube. And I'll shout out the guy's name. I don't know him personally,
Darby,
but Darby was the guy who came and looked at
adjuster.
it.
Oh, okay.
Darby Hambrick was the adjuster, and James Pollock was the other. He was the lead on that at USAA. I don't know either of them very well in real life, but they were amazing people, and this got done in record time. Yes, thank you, Grandpa, for making me get this insurance, because they came through, not one fight, nothing.
I felt like they were drinking bros. Am I wrong?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. I think one of them had listened to the show, but again, it's a military, typically
so
military insurance.
Thing.
Not at all, no.
And they're based in San Antonio, which is like obviously there.
Correct. I mean, we've, out of our 10.3 million listeners on Drinking Bros, I think 2.1 are in the state of Texas, so it's 1 out of every 15 feels like, but I think that's the right math. But thank you to you guys. Again, there was not much bickering, hassling, anything else, and they paid very, very quickly. That was the only thing that has allowed us to move back in somewhat decent time. There's a lot of other people who lost the same amount or had damage, and they're still not done. So thank you. Thank you for real.
That's why in this whole thing, people would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, literally, I cannot complain.
Nope.
No. I stayed at a beach house. My house got fixed. It was fairly easy, easier than the pool. Again, not going to go on a white woman breakdown.
Sure.
I feel like I am on the verge of one.
Close. Yeah, I mean, look, throughout this 4 months, the biggest thing for me was the travel, where it really kicked my ass this morning. You were an MVP, getting the kids up and everything else. I had flown from North Carolina to get with you guys all the way back on Friday nights. Flight was delayed 500 times on American, canceled and all that other stuff throughout the week. That's why we did audio only. I had 5 flights canceled last week, and there was no problem whatsoever, weather-wise or anything else. And it was the classic maintenance or whatever it was. Ironically, the only airline that I've taken this year that has been on time and not missed is fucking Spirit, dude.
I love Spirit.
So
you guys
weird.
know that.
It's so weird.
I like it dark in the cabin, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I like Spirit. What?
What?
I don't like the lights on.
You got to put the shades down.
I don't like the light. I put the shades down.
Everybody puts the shades down.
Now,
Giorgio, I don't know what you're thinking.
I don't know what you're thinking, but
Yep. Put the shades down.
I like Spirit.
Yep.
They take care of you. They're fun. They're flirty. They keep it loose, right? They do. I don't think on Spirit one time we got the like, meh, sir, meh, ma'am thing. They just do it. They kept it going. They kept alcohol, by the way, flowing.
Yes, even to the main cabins and all that other stuff.
The entire time. So,
because we flew back from the Logan Paul Mayweather fights last night.
Giorgio.
We did. And then on Giorgio, while trying to upload the Chuck Liddell post-fight episode, standing in line for Spirit, the stewardess comes up to him and says, can I see your boarding pass? I'm going to need an extra $65 for that carry-on bag you got right there. So go ahead and hand over that CC, that credit card real quick.
I've actually had this exact thing and had a little bit of a white woman breakdown with that too, where I was like, are you throwing the credit card? They're like, I'm still going to charge it. But.
And Pepperidge Farm remembers when 50 pounds was what you were allowed on your check bag?
Yeah.
We're down to 40 now. So Giorgio had the plus 35 extra on that. So it was the cool hundo for the bag.
Just give us an invoice. We'll pay it. You were okay.
But it's just like he just didn't want us like praising Spirit too much, because you're absolutely right. That did happen to me too. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You let me get all the way here, basically, right?
Yeah.
It's like I had those same bags when I was at the counter, and you let me go all the way through. Yeah. And then before I'm about to get on.
I think Trey's wife works there at USAA, by the way. Vanessa, shout out.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people in the chat. Sorry. There's a bunch of people in the chat who are like, dude, a lot of them work for USAA. Hey, for real, man. You guys are the best in the biz. Yeah, Spirit, I'm not going to, look, time-wise, they've been on time. I have not missed a flight, and
they have direct flights
to weird places that I need to go to. Yes. So whatever. Am I a little bit sunburnt? You bet. You bet your sweet ass I am. I was at last week. We had the North Carolina. Try to get as much sun as I could because we have a ton of shows coming up with huge people. Daddy's got to get a little sun because I know I'm not getting any for a while, probably. We got a bunch of guests coming in and a bunch of fun openings. And Austin is kicking off. You and I are taking the child to the very first soccer game here in a couple weeks. So yeah, we got a bunch of big shows. I believe we're shipping these guys out for the UFC fight this weekend, and there's a ton of stuff going on. So we're amped. I knew I wasn't gonna get any sun, so I was like, "Let it burn, let it burn, baby."
Yeah, you got a base.
Got to get some form of a base, but not bad. It's not bad. We got some fun, flirty lights in here too that are nice. So that could be it. But I was like,
I'm really
no hat today. You
sorry,
look great,
but I'm looking good.
You look great.
It's the lights and the cameras.
No, you're super hot and you keep getting hotter.
No, it's like
Yeah.
It's all cameras and lights. But
no, you keep getting hotter.
I thank the boys for that.
Yeah, keep getting hotter. My son was disappointed about. He goes, "Dad, did you go see Logan Paul fight and you didn't take me?" And I go, "Yeah," but I go, "Buddy, it started at midnight. It was a little later, and it was on a Sunday, and you can go to the next one for sure."
Right.
It's crazy how a 7-year-old, even that fight crossed over to 7-year-olds. You're just like, amazing.
Scary world.
Yeah. And that stadium is just not. Miami just cannot figure it out.
No.
Had to walk a good country mile. We talked about it on Drinking Bros last night. Papa G and I got deep into the Grand Slamwich.
Whoa.
So that was...
Wow.
At Denny's?
Did anyone get moons over Miami, or is that done now?
No. I don't know.
Passé?
We just wanted sandwiches for the Uber, so it was fine. Shout out to my buddy David Van Sant. He texted me. He was at the Hard Rock Casino where the after party and all that stuff was. He goes, "Hey, you coming?" And I was like, "No, I got an early flight. I'm at Denny's." No, so I love you, Van Sant. Next time, my man. Next time.
Dan Holloway got to party with MGK and
he
Logan
did, yes.
Paul afterwards.
Yeah.
Me and Ross were in a Denny's parking lot eating food with our hands. It was a good night.
I don't think there was any losers in that. You know what I mean?
That's what I feel like. I still feel like I made the right decision. Mm-hmm. When you're teetering, I do at least, where I'm teetering and I'm like, all right, I got to get the fuck out of here, right? That was one of those nights where I was just like, the heat. It was the humidity there that got me. Yeah. Plus drinking all day and the flights and all that other stuff. I was like, I'm probably no good to anybody at that after party. You guys go ahead. The other part about it is, and I talked with Chuck about this, I was fortunate enough to go to all that shit over the years. So I don't mind missing one here and there where I'm like, MGK, it's weird. Machine Gun Kelly is more famous to me for being famous rather than, I'm not a big fan of his music. Like, I don't listen to him on a daily basis. I like Yellow Wolf better. Right. But I respect the hustle of MGK, and he's cool. He's cool. Love to have him on the show to chat about his acting, actually, because I thought he was great in The Dirt. He played Tommy Lee.
He's good in pretty much everything he does, and he transforms a little bit. I think he's more of an actor than anything else, but yeah.
Never know. I was okay on that. I was the only thing I was sad about was not getting to chat with Logan and Jake. Chuck did. And he said the conversation, we talked about it last night, and I was like, how did that go? He said Jake was like, whoa, dude. And Chuck was like, hey, man, we're cool. It's just promotion. Let's, if you want to do something, we can do something. And he's cool. But Chuck is like the nicest guy in the world, so it was fine. But
I just feel like those energies, like I would have loved to see like Jake's weird ass energy with Chuck's just chill.
Exactly, yeah.
He knows he could beat everybody up kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then bro ass Jake Paul, like
totally.
I don't know how that conversation even happened.
It was well, and he said they chatted for about 20 minutes about everything. And truthfully, the only reason I regret it is I wish I could have congratulated Logan. Looking back at it and having been there, like I know a lot of people were like, oh, they were hugging each other and all that other stuff. Dude, for your third fight to go a full distance with Mayweather is incredible to me. Whatever it was and whatever you thought, like there was some hard shots. He landed some decent shots. He took some hard shots. Like hey, congratulations. That is a feat that is incredible. Like you see these dummies who are able to go up Mount Everest, you know? Oh, I can just do it and get a guide and do the whole fucking thing. That, to me, to go in the ring with Mayweather is tougher than that. Where
it is, and good for him. I just felt kind of the way that the guys did at the end, and I always feel like this at the end of a Mayweather fight, which is just like I could see why you went to Denny's, because you're just like, okay, I mean, good for you, like you did it, but there's no like
a knockout would have been great,
yes,
right? A knockout, but that's always anyone. Mayweather. To his credit, though, Logan was holding a lot. He was very tired. But that humidity, along with the weight he cut for that, like, dude,
it's great, but like you feel the same way as when you see someone run a marathon. You're like, wow, you really did it. It was fucking boring for me, but what an accomplishment for you, right? And you're like at the finish line, like, yeah, right?
So here's the way I looked at it, me personally, because I think it's a totally different outlook than everybody else. I did not expect it to be some blockbuster fight of like, you know, Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard, like something like that. I expected that, or you know, I thought, you know, Floyd was going to knock him out to do it, because he should have.
Yes.
But he didn't. For a third fight, you made it through, and then you also look back at a kid who put a camera in his face, got it up on YouTube. Was it 6 years ago or 8 years ago? He was working at a. Where was he at?
Again,
First off,
like,
put some respect on Vine.
100%.
Exactly.
He was a Vine star first before YouTube.
But he said something else, like they were cutting yards or something 10 years ago, or landscaping. Yeah,
I think that was
landscaping.
I think that was in high school before he got like hyper famous.
Yeah. So look, you go from landscaping and then putting a camera in your face at a young age on YouTube to when I walked into that stadium, because we, you know, had ringside seats that were not good enough for Chuck. You know, he's usually used to sit in the first row. We were in the 8th, and he was like, "Hey guys." We had a nice hearty laugh about it, but I was like, Chuck, you live on a different planet, my man. It was funny.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, he didn't care. It was I'm joking, but when we walked in and I saw that stadium with Showtime in the huge, all the screens with Jake and Mayweather, it was like, oh my God, dude, can you imagine having that dream as a kid or 10 years ago? Doing videos on YouTube and then walking out into that stadium, that he made it, dude. Like that is a dream. Whatever you thought of the fight, like I look at the hard work and whatever he had to go through to get there. And my opinion on those kids has changed over the years where, you know, I came out hating them and I was like, they're fucking obnoxious and all this other shit. And then slowly, little by little, I
wouldn't let my kid watch Jake Paul stuff.
Correct.
Because I'm like, I don't want you to be that.
Right. But then as the years go by, you look back at it and you're like, dude, I was probably the same dickhead when I was that age if I had a camera in my face. So, you know, it's a pretty cool accomplishment. It was weird walking in there going, oh my God, like somebody off of YouTube who stuck a cell phone in front of their face is now fighting Floyd Mayweather in the Dolphins Stadium.
And again, I'm not going to, you know, I'll give you that. I agree with you on that. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
It's body of work. It's someone running a marathon.
Hustle is real.
And you're there for the end.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm just saying as a one-off.
Sure. Right.
As someone that maybe didn't know even who these guys were, right?
Right.
How exciting was that fight for them? That's all I'm saying.
I don't think it was meant for that audience anyways. So the people that tuned in were there for the spectacle of it and everything else. And the undercards were fun. Chad Ochocinco and those guys.
How did he do?
He did pretty well. Look, the first 3 rounds were good, and then he got knocked the fuck down in the 4th.
Yeah, and then the fight after that was actually a war.
I mean, it was, and those were professional fighters.
Yes.
Good for them.
And so all the way around, it was it was enjoying the entertainment factor of it was there. I have 0 complaints. Same way with McGregor versus Mayweather as well. You watch that. I didn't have any complaints on that fight. Like, for real. The one that if you're asking, like, honestly, who I would bitch about, like, oh, I want my money back, would be the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. Like, when we had everybody over at the house, and they didn't go on till, like, 1 in the morning, and then it was the worst, boring fight of all time.
That's true, but then the other one was great.
Which one?
Where he just, like, put him night on the ground, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like he just flew through the air. And, like, so... Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Again, though, like name an iconic like Mayweather moment, I guess.
Thank you.
That like pops in your head immediately.
I'm not a fan, so I'm not going to be able to.
So the one that I can was the Canelo fight and the De La Hoya, but those were years and years and years ago. So look, it is what it is. He's not the most exciting fighter of all time, Mayweather. I feel the same way about Khabib, unfortunately, in UFC. I would rather see the heavyweights knock each other out, and I want to see big knockouts. Like the thing that you guys are going to this weekend, Nate Diaz. That's somebody's leaving in a fucking gurney, like on a
With
gurney.
Leon Edwards, maybe not. But
Nate Diaz doesn't give a shit.
yeah, no.
I just don't like this idea of like, I'm the champion because I run away from every punch like that.
I don't either. I'm with you. So I understand. But he's done. I don't know. He might come back and do one more exhibition when he gets really broke in 2 years. But
and by the way, the interviews with him, it's catching up to him, being hit in the head or not hit in the head or whatever.
yeah,
He's slow.
Catches up with everybody. We watched that thing the other night with that Tyson documentary on ABC.
Yeah.
When they interviewed Riddick Bowe, I was like, man,
Yeah.
It's rough. Like he's headed towards the Ali route.
I mean, Tyson's the one that's most with it out of all those guys.
Yeah, look.
Weed, baby.
That's saying a lot, yeah.
Come on. Right?
Wanted to talk about the jerk-off lady. I did not know what this
This is cringe corner, but
I want to
Okay,
start with this.
let's
You
start with the
guys,
cringe corner.
Well, for the audience at home, when we walked in today, right before we got on air, you guys were talking about this back and forth, and I go, I don't know this story. And therefore, I can't wait that long. I can't wait till the end of the show to hear a cringe corner. If that's what it is, I want to know it. I want to see the videos. I've not heard about this story.
Okay, so thankfully, Bob is boots on the ground with Cringe Corner, and he sent me this. So this mom's solution for parents when it comes to teenage masturbation is generating important conversations. Now, this is cringy for multiple reasons, but
Yes. First
Bob,
off,
go ahead.
it's not generating important conversations.
No.
This is an insane solution to a problem that wasn't a problem.
So the fact that, I mean, when Bob sent me, he's like, can we talk about this fucking piece of shit? I'm like, yes, Bob, let's do it. Let's do it.
I saw it, and the first thing I thought was, this is a mom being like, I thought of a really constructive new way for my teen son to masturbate.
Yep. And it's people, you're exactly right. It's a mom that's like, I'm going to change the game. By the way, moms, you can't change the game. There is a game, right?
Yep.
It's been happening since the dawn of time, since cave women were moms, whatever. Like, you're not going to do anything that's going to be revolutionary.
Sure.
And you're not going to know if it's revolutionary for another 30 years, right? When it's like, it finally catches up.
Right.
But the great thing about it, too, it's Minnesota mom. She has a nickname, Shug, as in sugar, right?
Is this a white lady?
What do you think? Okay.
I know one other Shug and they're black.
What you're picturing in your head is exactly
what it is.
Yes.
And then
I have
we'll
a
show it to
very
you.
distinct picture in my mind right now.
Okay, perfect. It's exactly right, I'm sure. So for privacy, her kids also go by nicknames, which I fucking hate when people do this, right? So the 14-year-old is Bugga, the 7-year-old is Turkey, and Goo is almost 4. Kill yourself. Okay. Pretty much. So do you have...
I have the video ready of her specific... advice for, as BuzzFeed puts it, teens with penises.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Great.
She's changing the game.
Changing the game. And this, by the way, well, I'll say this afterwards. We'll just let it play.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Okay, I'm going to say something a little controversial, but I promise it makes sense, so hear me out. We all know that it's normal, natural, and healthy for kids to explore their bodies, right? Right. But for people who have a penis or a penis adjacent, that exploration changes when they hit puberty, and that exploration can need a little bit of cleanup. Now, I know.
Penis
There's all the
adjacent?
tropes about, like...
Yeah, penis adjacent.
What is that? I'm sorry. I hate to stop you there.
Gosh.
Dunno.
We do know.
Penis adjacent.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so that is next to a penis? That's what
I guess
adjacent means.
It's like
around or close is the definition.
On the
of
way
that.
to wanting a penis, or
Right.
one day I will have a penis.
Yes.
But that still just means you're not jacking off yet. Good for you if you want to transition, but like you're not jacking off.
Okay.
You're not.
Okay.
Anyway.
You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will be Masturbating,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
But you're not jacking off, and penis adjacent is not a thing.
No, never heard that.
That's not.
They used to do that in real estate in Los Angeles, say Beverly Hills adjacent.
Sure.
like,
And
wow.
that makes sense.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah, because you're right next to Hollywood.
That's how they jacked up the
Beverly
prices
Hills.
over
Yeah.
there. Beverly Hills adjacent.
You're still under an underpass, but it's near Beverly Hills. All right, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, so
because she hasn't gotten to the solution that she
Well,
thought of yet.
Yeah,
First-
there's a solution.
first thoughts, that is not what I pictured.
Oh, what did you picture?
I don't know. Just with those names, I just pictured another race.
Oh, no.
This is
Those-
exactly who I picture for this type of advice.
They don't fucking do this shit.
Okay. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
no black woman in America would
Did
do
not
this.
say
Is doing
black.
this shit.
Yeah.
Did not say black, guys.
Well, we are,
I don't
and we're
see
saying,
colors.
look,
No, they are.
white
see
women
colors.
are the problem, and they
Yeah.
always have been. They always will be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Continue on. I apologize for the interruption.
Like lotion
That's
and
all right.
Kleenex.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I feel like the
So
shade.
fine.
she's like, so
the
basically
shade
she's saying
point is
now, like,
perfect.
it's a messy affair with lotion. and all this-
And crispy towels and gym socks and whatever.
Learn how to put
But
them
hear me out. What if, because we're trying to encourage safe sex practices, we give people things that provide protection, like condoms? Think of it. Easy cleanup. They learn how to put them on, and they get used to what they feel like. So there's never any discomfort when they do become ready to go with a partner. What a magical world where a person with a penis, their first instinct when they become aroused is to grab protection.
So her solution is,
TikTok.
Wow.
Kids are on TikTok. This is on TikTok.
yeah, this is on TikTok,
Yeah.
and it went super viral with lots of people being like, "Oh my god, that's so incredible."
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
What parent would say that?
Other idiots like Shug.
And I'm
With
just going to be
turkeys.
totally honest here. Anyone who doesn't have a penis, like this is the most harebrained, like you cannot possibly have a dick if you think this is a good idea.
yeah.
First off, less cleanup. Clearly, she's never fucked with a condom on before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you take
Actually not that
yeah.
clean.
you take it off and it's a
Yeah,
mess.
yeah, it's a
Sure.
mess. Yeah.
What is
Then
she?
you've got evidence places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash, something like
Septic tanks.
maybe let's talk about that.
Yeesh.
Right?
Yeah, what that does to plumbing.
I'm going to say, look at her. Probably a pretty big green energy, green life
Oh,
type
yes.
of person.
Yeah.
She uses
Yeah.
7th generation for sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the size of the condom continent that will be floating in the Indian Ocean if every teen American boy started beating off into condoms?
Oh, boy.
Australia would just be floating through the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not green.
Yeah.
It's not green.
It's the least green thing I've ever heard.
My God. My God.
Also, just think about this for a second. This is a woman telling her teen son how to jack his dick off.
Yeah.
Okay? Imagine if I got on TikTok and had a daughter and was like, the other day I was sitting around thinking, like, how can my daughter more constructively fiddle with her pussy?
Yeah.
Diddle or skittle.
Gloves, rubber gloves.
Yeah. Would I be
Rubber gloves.
Would they
Rubber
call
gloves
me,
would be messier.
would they call me brave?
Yes, they would, Bob. They really would.
So I think
Well,
you should give it a try, Bob.
I think Jesse could get away with it.
Yeah.
Bob couldn't because he's a white man, and the white man is
but that's what we're saying is that
public enemy number one.
that's what we're saying is she's a woman talking to her teenage son about this.
Sure.
If it was Bob talking to his daughter, like that would be
Oh, dude, that would
That's
be.
what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like if
it
I
would
just
be shut down.
Yeah.
if I just gave
Canceled.
free masturbation advice to women on Twitter right now, what would the ratio look like on that tweet?
I feel like we should try that.
I do too.
Maybe
I feel like we've got a
Patreon,
new
right?
show.
Like, the
I
more
feel like
he's-
we've got a new
The
show.
more he's talking about it, I'm like,
Wait,
let's push the limits of Patreon, right?
I'll
Like,
do an
let's
hour.
see-
I'll do an hour. I'll do an hour on
Yeah.
teaching chicks how to masturbate.
Yeah. On
You can
Patreon,
do
that'd be
an
great.
hour.
Yeah. A full 1 hour.
And I'll just fact check for you.
Yeah. Nope. Nope. I just off
I'm like,
camera.
yep,
Nope.
nope.
Yep.
But
There
then
you
what
go.
I'll do is just disagree with your fact checks.
Yes.
Because-
in like a condescending way.
Yeah, because why?
I mean,
Yeah.
What do I know?
The funniest thing about the whole thing of this though really is that she thinks there's no cleanup.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
here's
I'm
my
wondering-
biggest takeaway out of all this video, right?
Right.
It just sounds like a mom who doesn't want to do extra laundry. I mean, it seems like she's trying to figure out a way of how do I not do extra laundry because I'm tired of washing towels.
Wouldn't a
Towels is always a chore where you're just, that sits last. in the laundry room.
Sure.
And you're like, all right, fuck, I guess we got to do towels now.
Do
Clothes.
you guys use socks? Did we do a sock?
A sock, a jizz rag, whatever.
That you just kind of
catch rag.
Yeah, what you should be
in
doing.
there?
Here's the real advice, lady. Go have them and just be like, go to the bathroom. Jack off in the toilet or in the shower.
Why aren't they saying that?
Yeah.
Because she's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, she's a fucking moron.
Oh,
I
also,
mean,
here's the other thing. They learn how to put a condom on. Have you put a hat on?
Yeah.
Have you unrolled anything ever in your life?
yeah.
If you've done it once, you know how to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. So,
I mean, look.
are we what's the over under here? Are we praising this woman? What are the odds? 50-50? What's but on the internet? Not you guys. We're all think she's a
gone
fucking
viral
idiot.
for whatever
Yeah,
reason,
they were like,
though.
wow, yeah, like, oh, safe sex, and oh, so progressive. Like she's
Yeah, sex positive.
She talks to her kids, but like if you're talking to your kids and telling them stupid things,
Yeah.
then is it good?
I think
Exactly.
I think this is why, and I've said this for years on this show. You need an age limit on TikTok where if you're fucking past 19 years old, your account gets shut down. And that's it. You can't do this anymore.
I agree, but I did that to myself. Like, I shut myself down.
You did?
Yeah, because I was like,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Yeah. So it was
Not for me.
we're, I think, signing this other show pretty soon. And they were in here and they've got a big TikTok following, right? And they were like, yeah, you guys should get on. And I was like, dude, I'm past the age of 30, barely, but I should not be on this as a 33-year-old man, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe 32. What's up? No. Nope, all good.
Oh, Dan.
All good.
Dan has your best interest. In
I got
mind,
shamed.
sure.
I got shamed into it once. It was Tiffany, actually, your co-host on Drinking Bro Ads.
Oh, to like be on, but you
She's
were
like, you gotta get on TikTok. You got on TikTok. She goes,
You were on ours.
She goes, just put any video on there and see how it does. She's like, it'll shock your mind. And I was like, all right. At the time, it was Old Town Road was out, so whenever that was. And I did a Mug Life video with Morgan Freeman
Okay.
singing Old Town Road.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to take my horse to the Old Town Road.
Sure.
And then she was right. It got like 50,000 views, and I had a brand new account. And I was just like,
It's so easy.
I
It feels
just
unreal, right?
It can't get into it, but I will say this because I have shit on TikTok in the past. Their algorithm for their things and all the videos on there, like there's some really funny shit on there. I don't know why people aren't doing it for Instagram and that app specifically because there is a difference. There's another guy that I follow on Instagram because I'm a fan of his videos. I actually reached out to him to try to hire him. His name is Rusty Featherstone.
Great name.
Yes, and it's a dude who just samples every beer, seltzer, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But he drinks the entire 12-pack. And so each video is less than
pretty
60
funny.
seconds, and he does 4 beers in, 8 beers in, and then 12. So you get to see how fucked up he was, and then he rates them. At the end, super simple concept, college kid. He's down in Florida. And I hit him up, and I was like, yo, can I hire you? And he goes, no, you can't. I popped over to his TikTok and he had like, I don't know, 300,000 or 400,000 followers. And I was like, oh shit, dude. It's a whole new world. Those dudes are getting paid over there at TikTok. Like,
The one thing that's like wildly impressive about it, like the videos or whatever, that's fine. They just have like the best algorithm in
Yeah.
terms of serving content
yeah.
possible.
They really do.
And so to that point, I don't know if you and I chatted about it on a show or if it was on Drinking Bros, but Facebook is adding podcasts.
Yes.
So they have already reached out in advance and said, hey, we want to put your RSS feed on your podcast page and you can listen to all the things there and watch all the things there. And then they said they're going to chop up clips for us for free, which is, I'll see how that all works out. We're going to do it, obviously, because we don't care where you listen and what you listen to and all that other shit. But the weird thing is, when they got into it with Apple over this privacy thing, and now they don't have as much data anymore, they changed the algorithm completely. I'm now seeing shit on there that I actually want to see.
Right.
And friends and shit like that where I'm like, oh, all right. I don't know what happened over there. They clearly recognized something was wrong.
No, it's that Apple made it so Facebook can't track you.
Right. But to change the algorithm to shit that, like, me personally, like it was overnight where I was like, this is entirely different and this is content
Because
that I
you're
would
not
actually
getting
look
targeted
at.
stuff. anymore.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But that's what the whole fight is.
Yeah.
That Facebook is like, that's how we make our money. And Tim Cook is like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they're like, so I don't know how it's going to shake out. They used to be like mentor, mentee, like, is that how, whatever. Mentor.
Mentee is fine. I call stewardesses stews.
Relationship, like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer. And then from there, turned into quite contentious to the point where now I'm not really sure what's going to happen with them fighting and trying to one-up each other. Do we all just explode into a million pieces? I have no idea.
Look, I from my perspective, I look at it like, you know, they're going to focus more on content and everything else, which is good for us as a company, where it's like, great, you want to jam on our RSS feed to the world? Go ahead. I'm down. Put all the episodes on there. I'm down. But don't come back and bitch at me for censorship after you hear just one episode, you know?
And I'm sure they'll listen to you.
No, they're not. And Dan and I had
I'm sure all you have to say is, hey, don't do that.
Had a hearty chuckle over it, but because the other thing they did, since they own Instagram, was, you know, as soon as something gets cool, they try to kill it and just do it immediately. They're trying to do it with TikTok and this Reels thing. Well, join the Reels, and that's awesome. Blah blah blah. No, the Reels suck. I don't care about that shit. TikTok, I'll give them more credit now. Their algorithm is sweet, and they do have great videos. I just don't want to see anybody over 30 years old on there, like, at all. Cut that off, or younger. 19? 19's good. I don't want to see a mom on there. Like, go to Mom, you're on Facebook. Go to Moms, okay?
Exactly.
I don't. And it's creepy. I don't want to see grown-ups on there. You know, it's a kids app. Like, let's face it. There was a bunch of those huge TikTokers at the fight. I didn't know one of them, obviously, but the crowds that were around them taking pictures they were just as famous as, like, Chuck Liddell and Holyfield and shit like that. I mean, it was crazy. And I walked by and I go, who is that? They were like, oh, TikTok. He's great. He's great. He looked like he was 4 years old.
Right.
And I was just like, my God, man. Imagine being, no lie, he was probably 16 or 17. But imagine being like 16 or 17, that famous, having that much money. You're just going to do some fucking stupid shit.
There's got to there's got to be like a 90% chance, if you're that age right now and that famous, that you get canceled sometime in the next like 6 years.
Oh, yeah. It'll be just as cannibalistic as
easily.
Instagram or any of that stuff.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I talked to Chuck about it too. Chuck's got kids. We have kids, obviously. And we were talking about it over the weekend. And he goes, dude, could you imagine that run during the 2000s if you and I had social media or camera phones and all that shit? I was like, oh, dude, I'd be gone, you know?
Yeah.
Be gone.
Dead?
Dead, canceled, whatever you want to call it. Who knows?
Sure.
Who knows, man? Because we were talking about Brett Favre's dick pic, extensively, and it was just like, man, you get too old and you don't understand phones, technology, and all that shit. You know, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to beef it up, and you certainly don't put a penis that looks like that out into the world.
Right.
To a 24-year-old who is social media savvy and everything else, like that's the problem. So,
like, he put it on the boards instead of in the messages, which is what my mom does all the time.
Yeah,
like she'll send something that's supposed to be a direct message and just put it on the boards, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That should be private, but anyway, yeah.
So it's a good thing, but I don't mind it. Look, the TikTok videos are fine. Get this fucking jerk off mom on there. I liked how because as soon as you do something like this, they give you a nickname like Chewbacca Mom or Yodel Boy or whatever it is, right, from Walmart. Jerk off mom. Could you imagine if that's your thing, and in like 15 years you're out with your friends, at a high school reunion or whatever it is, 20 years. And you look back, and it's just, everybody's going to come up and be like, hey, how's jerk-off mom doing?
Right.
How's your mom doing? How's jerk-off mom doing? And you're just like, oh,
right.
Man.
Did she show you?
Yeah.
Show you what to do?
Imagine what her kids are going through at fucking school right now.
But, by the way, I forgot to mention, too, pretty classist. Not everyone can afford to buy 20 condoms a week.
Exactly.
There it is, Bob.
Exactly. Out of touch.
Yeah.
Very Chrissy Teigen.
Bob cares
and
about...
also, I bet they're homeschooled. What you reckon? With the side of the
Yeah,
head shaved?
I think she filmed a class, to be honest. That's what I think.
100%. Those are homeschooled.
Yeah.
No, because she doesn't want what's happening in the public schools to taint their mind.
I bet she's one of those moms who's just like, son, are you jerking off? Do you want me to wait off on dinner for 15 minutes, or like she's trying to be cool?
To talk about anything after.
Yeah, where you're just like, hey, mom, that is private.
Right.
Okay. Don't make a TikTok video, mom. She's outside the door. Look, he's doing it now. We'll see if he uses the condom. Let's see if he uses the condom, okay, guys? Hey, it's me, jerk off mom. I'm going to see. So my son, 15, is jerking off. Let's see if he uses the condom. It's just like, oh, God. Don't do this.
What was his nickname?
Don't do it. Don't do it. By the way, if you're out there and you're wondering why my voice might be a little rough, it is not from screaming or anything this time. Usually it's a live show, and I'm like, hey, I feel like I've either gotten colds in back-to-back weeks from traveling and all this shit, or I've had COVID 22 times. So
possible. Patient 0.
Oh, and I'll tell everybody, because they were looking at the pictures on Instagram and all that stuff, and they were like, was the fight that empty? Was there nobody there? No. Dude, 2/3 of the stadium was blocked off for COVID seats, the same as you and I were at the national championship. I don't know why. It's Florida, and it was just like, what the fuck, bro? And they still had they made all the employees in the stadium wear masks, and they still had us walk down to certain rows, and certain sections were blocked off, and it was just like, so they sold the max amount of tickets on that thing.
I feel like they probably use that as an excuse because they just couldn't sell enough tickets.
I was just going to say that.
And I'll tell you why they didn't. So when we went to
then you could be like, sold out.
Yeah, when we went to the Canelo fights, he wasn't fighting anybody cool enough to warrant like 76,000 people coming there. Mm-hmm. Same situation. The tickets were cheap enough, and there were so many people that came up to us in the 2 days prior of like, dude, can we get tickets? Can we get tickets? We own a ticket site. We own drinkingbrostickets.com. There just weren't any. So and the ones that were there were super fucking expensive. So clearly it was blocked off. Otherwise, you just would release more tickets and seats and all that stuff. The demand was high, and those tickets were expensive, man. There was a dude that we had to get he owned the restaurant we went to. It's a big sports bar down there, and I guess it's a chain. Carplunks or Cobarks or whatever it is. Yeah, it's something like that. He was a Miami Dolphin player.
I love Kerplunks.
Whatever it is, right? Co-Blankers or something like that. Somebody in the message board from Florida knows this.
Anyways.
This answer. Co-Campers, Co-Banks, Co-Bonksters. There it is. Bo Campers. Thank you. I knew somebody in the chat room would know it. Bo Campers was the name of it, right?
Super close.
But the GM who had hooked us up all night was just like, he was there. He was like, hey, man, can I get tickets to this? And I was like, yeah, I can get tickets. But I'm looking at the website now because he listened to the show. And I was like, I'm looking at the website now. Upper deck seats were going for $300. And I was just a piece. And I was just like, that's what this is. I mean, clearly the demand was there. They just, hey. It might be just that stadium, though, and they don't want to get sued. Every other stadium we've been to has been like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bulls on parade. But the humidity and all that shit was, dog. And you and I were going, like I said, we're taking our child to the first Austin FC game coming up, and they built different seats there. So they built these humidity seats. So every seat in the stadium is some kind of mesh thing where it's breathable and everything else. And I was like, all right,
oh wow,
way to go, Austin. I've never seen that before.
For your danglers, huh?
Yeah, throw a little gold bond
danglers breathe, dude.
Let them breathe.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I came through security, and I had that big bottle of Gold Bond. I don't know if TSA has to take, like, if you need a chemistry degree to do that job anymore. But now they're pouring out the powder, and then they're doing these droplet tests. But they're so intense, and then they're running them through the machines that I was like, this feels like a chemistry class at this point.
How big was the bottle that you had?
Huge.
Why?
Huge. About this size.
Why?
They don't sell the smaller bottles anymore, and I'm not sure why. I've not been able to find one. And I'm disappointed in Gold Bond because I love them. Not a sponsor.
Sure.
Not a sponsor, but I'm a fan of theirs, and I wish they would come in the little tiny bottles, but they don't do that anymore. So I've had to buy these huge ass fucking bottles, but I guess for what they said
And
was
you need it with you on the plane. You can't check
I
it.
have never needed Gold Bond more than I needed it in Miami. I promise you that it was well worth it. They got 0 complaints from me because I needed that Gold Bond.
Okay.
And yes, that was a 3 Gold Bond night for me.
Sure.
You know, going up and down. Okay, and I go back to front. I don't care who that is. You know, I want the whole area, the whole Santa's workshop down there, tight and cleaned up. You know, cooled down, if you will. But yeah, they test them with like 9 different colors and droplets in a petri dish and all that stuff. And I was like, man, you guys are no longer TSA anymore. You're certified scientists. I would venture to say that the TSA now knows more than Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Right.
So, you know, take it for what it's worth.
Sure.
But if you're traveling with any form of powder, I guess they think it's anthrax.
No, we don't, because we know we're not supposed to. But if you
No, you
need
can.
to,
You can. They just test it. So, you know, same with the baby formula.
sure. And from that experience for however many years, I know that they don't love a powder, right?
Oh yeah,
So.
yeah. Jacob Nichols saying I have a Gold Bond addiction. Look, if the entire network was sponsored by Gold Bond,
Oh, how
I'm
fucking
all
awesome
in.
would that
Yes,
be?
I can tell you the first night I used it, I remember where I was. I remember that feeling. It was in August. It was a green bottle, and they said, "Look,
minty.
yeah." As I was like, "Man, it
Extra
is
cool.
it is hot out here." And I was in Columbus, a bouncer. And I was like, "It is hot out here tonight." And my man goes, Mark Svita was his name. He goes, "Hey, let's head back into that employee bathroom. You see a green bottle in there. It's called Gold Bond. You want to put that on your nethers." And he's like, "It's going to be shocking at first. After the first 2 or 3 uses, though, you're going to need it the rest of your life." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
Wow.
I was like, "I'm all in." Now, he said just put a dollop on there. I went a full handful, and that was a mistake.
Sure.
That green bottle is really surprising. But as soon as I slapped up underneath there, you know, it was like DMX clapping pigeons.
Right. Right.
It was on, and I've never gone back. So yeah, Gold Bond, if you're out there and you want to do the whole network, brother, there's no one who could sell Gold
What if we
Bond
made,
more
like,
than me.
sexy Gold Bond merch and shit?
Oh, dude, I could turn that entire company into.
Just fucking. Isn't it Shaq though? I think that does Gold Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, but he does the bullshit kind. He's not doing the powder. I go old school, you know.
Sure.
I go old school powder on that.
Yeah, so
because
we
there's
would
like a
just
cream.
be-
He uses like a cream, and there's like a
yeah.
lotion and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I want that powder, brother.
So we would take the powder category.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq could take the lotion,
Yeah.
and we could make it worldwide.
Oh, 100%. I think it is already, but
Sure.
I could really.
It's underground,
Juice
and I
up
think
sales.
it'd be fun to make it more of like, kind of take the stigma away.
Yeah.
You know, I love to take a stigma away from something.
Well, you always do. Hard seltzer update real quick, too, is I got off the phone with the legal team this morning. Shit, man. We're like 2 weeks away from production, so that's like 6 to 8 weeks of canning and all that stuff after that. We're getting close here. I was excited today.
Meetings.
I know. It was exciting this morning, though. I was like, oh, okay. You can only push people so far on contracts, right?
Sure.
For like the brewing companies and all that stuff. And then they were like, hey, it's time to be a Russian police officer. We're stern but fair. We're done with this. And I was like, fair enough, sir. So, yeah, getting super close. And I'm excited about it. Everywhere I go, I'm drinking these shitty seltzers. And I'm like, fuck, man. I get stuck drinking those cacti again over the weekend.
Yeah, because
Only it was it's 7%.
Cacti is so fucking bad.
It's awful,
know.
and it's Travis Scott's thing, and like
But I go for alcohol
content. Yeah.
Yeah.
more than flavor.
Same.
you
right?
drink your coffee black.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you don't have to drink as much.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
so
Same
a
thing.
4%, 5 even,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get out of bed for it. But
I don't either.
just because you're going to have to be drinking so much more liquid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're stuck with these 7%. I do a booch,
Boochcraft. Yeah, those are 7%.
but the calories are not low.
No.
So
Ours
you're
are.
going to sacrifice
Ours
things.
are, yeah.
Except
ours are
for
ours are
with-
8s. That's the highest you can get.
Ours,
and
yeah.
no calories, no sugars. Craigers is saying chapstick and Gold Bond. Ross says thank
I
you
was
gift for the wedding.
just going to say that.
Greg, just buy cases of seltzer for the wedding, and we're good to go. But yes, those are my two favorite things in this world, and I'm good on that.
Can't
I'm
live
pretty
without.
simple. Like Father's Day is coming up. That's all I ask for. Just give me some chapstick and Gold Bond, and we're good to go.
Okay. I mean, I got something else, but sure.
Oh, did you?
I'll do that as well.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. When is it? When is Father's Day?
Is it the 14th? Am I crazy?
Yeesh.
I don't know.
Is it really? Bob, look at Father's
Maybe
Day this
not.
year.
Around there.
I got to give my father something. I don't know if is it this weekend?
It is. Oh, God damn it! When is Father?
It is the story of a girl.
No,
It's
it's
every
not.
third Sunday in June. So it'll be June 20th, I guess.
20th. Okay.
Yeah.
Bob, I don't like that soft guess. Let's get a hard date.
Sunday,
out of you.
June 20th. Google was giving me all kinds of dog shit results. The date's like halfway down the page. I know
Okay.
So weird. Anytime I see a Duggar in the fucking headlines, I'm just like, you guys. Okay, so Jill Duggar defends feeding her dog breast milk, but more importantly, like,
What?
yeah, they're just. And look, do whatever you want
Yeah.
in your own house. But I will say, when that show was on,
Yep.
20 kids and counting, 21 kids and counting,
58
whatever.
kids and counting,
I
yeah.
got a weird feeling from the whole situation. And I just want to let everybody know, like, when you get weird feelings like that,
Right.
they're usually right?
Yeah.
So when you're watching that show and you're like,
Yeah.
first of all, the whole time you're like, what does the mom's vagina look like? Right?
1, 2. Didn't the dad get arrested for child porn, or one of the Duggars
brother.
did? Oh, the brother. Okay.
And that's ongoing, and that's real.
Jesus Christ.
But he also said that his dad was weird too. So whatever. It's a weird situation. When it hits you weird, I just want people to go with that instinct
Yep.
all of the time.
Yeah,
And don't
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, oh, I'm just being judgmental. Like, maybe they just want to have 30
Girls just wanna have
kids
fun,
and
yeah.
be fucking weird. And I don't know. But
Yeah.
the Duggars.
The Duggars,
Can we
man.
be done
Fucking-
with the Duggars?
yeah.
Can we let them live in the cave that they want to, living the way that they want?
Yep.
Whatever the fuck they want to all do. I don't know.
Always weird to me that they're like, oh, let's put these hill people on camera, and then they
No.
get mad at them for being hill
Hill
people.
people,
Being
yeah.
hill people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what did you expect? And percentage wise, right? Like, when you have that many kids, percentage wise, you're going to have a serial killer, a child porn,
Yep.
like you're gay.
Like
what-
Octomom or
Whatever,
Kate plus
like-
8. One of those is going to be a
You're
school shooter.
creating your own
Yeah.
statistical pool,
Yes,
right?
yes.
In your house.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of another show we might have to give up on here is The Bachelor.
Oh, yes.
My God, man. So look, Jesse's a huge fan. Every married man out there is then forced to be a fan and watch with them. You and I have been at it now for a while. You know?
With The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
don't know how
weren't
many
day
years at this
ones,
point.
but we got into it.
Late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, the last night was weird. It was the first episode when I came home from the flights. It was on, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" I forgot about this, and then I was like, "Where's Chris Harrison? He's gone, and it's 2 chicks now. It's who is it? Tasha
And I think the other girl, Michelle, is it the other girl that's going to be the next Bachelorette?
no, I think it
Okay.
was. It looked like Caitlin Bristow, maybe.
Oh, yeah. She looks so different that I couldn't recognize her.
She's very, very different.
She got a new face.
She's got a whole
Took
new
her face off and put the whole new face on.
Yeah.
And good for her.
I don't know why. No, it's not. She looked cuter before.
I thought.
Anyways, with that being said, I was like, man, that's weird that there's no Chris Harrison. Then ABC fired off a terse thing last night after the show was over because he's no longer giving out the roses and all that other shit. He built that entire franchise. He is out permanently.
So he said he was going to take a break.
Correct.
Just this
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
And the network was trying to be like, can we sustain without him? Right? Or
Yeah, 2 things. So, first of all, this was all over a story that, to me, was blown way out of proportion with the white girl who ended up with the black guy in the last season. Matt.
yeah,
Is that
Matt James.
Yeah, Matt James. I forget the girl's name. Either way,
Rachel Kirkconnell, and they're actually together.
together now because it was a real relationship. And congratulations, you guys tried to divide everything by race and do everything by race.
But
and then
he
it turned
did it
out,
too.
yes, but it turned out a black guy and a white girl ended up together. So what the fuck? But you pissed on it, you ruined it, whatever, because you found a picture of her at a sorority that was having a party at a plantation or an old plantation or whatever. It's like, drive through fucking Mississippi, dude. It's all plantations. Like, what the fuck? Or wherever they were, Missouri.
No.
Oh, that's right. You went to Mizzou.
Yeah. I did attend that Ellie Kemper ball, though.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll get to that
And
afterwards.
Is that as problematic as people are making it?
Wait, hang on. We'll get to that
Yeah.
afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was the last thing I wanted to get
Okay.
into today. But with that, I thought the picture was harmless. She apologized, and who gives a fuck? Like, Chris Harrison was pissed. They made him release a statement. He stood up for her. They made him release a statement, and he had them by the balls, not vice versa. So I want to make this perfectly clear to the audience, because here's what happens behind the scenes
I
in
said this in the
something
beginning.
like this, right?
Don't think that he's getting fired. He's going to leave because he wants to.
Well-
and he doesn't want to deal with this shit anymore.
Here's the other part about it is back when he started, like, I think they're on like 27 seasons or something crazy of The Bachelor and all that other stuff, right? Bachelor in Paradise and everything else. There was no morality clauses in a contract. So if people didn't like what you said on social media or podcasts and all that stuff, like back in the day, that did not exist. It does now at most of these studios, because these fucking contracts are intense and they want out for reasons like this. If ABC was to say, we want you out of here, Chris Harrison is able to go back to his contract and say, fuck you. My buyout is a percentage of what the show has earned over time and blah, blah, blah. That buyout, I can tell you, today came in at 8 figures. 8. So it is over $10 million and under 100, somewhere in there. Chris is fine to step away and walk out of there at that point. And look, let's face it, he's done it for 27 seasons or whatever it is. Like, cool. The only problem I have with this is the show sucks now, because they did the diversity thing, and they're doing this with a lot of reality shows where they're going 50-50 on the cast, where it's just like half white, half black. And this, to me, has nothing to do with race. Like, typically, what I thought with The Bachelor is you go on and you say what you're interested in, right? Could be Indian chicks, could be Chinese girls, like whatever your fucking thing is. And then they try to apply that to there. Now it's just a 50-50 mix of like, hey, we don't really care. We're just more interested in being diverse and everything else. But it was like, I didn't see any Chinese dudes there or fucking, Asian dudes or whatever.
No. First things first. You know what I mean? Like,
What the fuck, though?
Take
Like,
care of-
Yeah, I didn't see any Indian dudes pop up last night either. And it's like, so he's out. He got a fuck ton of money. The same with Roseanne. Whenever they said, oh, we fired Roseanne over those comments. No, you didn't. You absolutely did not. She had a contract that said, you can fucking fire me, but you're going to have to pay the piper on this one. And that's going to be in the 8 figures. So in the last 2 years at ABC alone, they've had to pay 8-figure settlements to Roseanne and now Chris Harrison. They are fine. So you do not have to cry for Chris Harrison. He is fine. And in my opinion, he did and said all of the right things. He was very pissed off at the network, and rightfully so, but that show was garbage last night.
yeah, I barely even watched it, and that's never happened. So
Yeah.
I think I'm done. We were saying before, a couple shows past, where it's like I watch these shows for the comfortability, the predictability. Like, I know it's going to be the most dramatic season. I know people aren't going to be there for the right reasons. There's these things that like make you feel comfortable, same as like a football game, basketball, whatever. There's going to be a certain amount of time.
Yes.
Someone's going to win.
Yep.
Whatever it is. And so now the like herky jerky, like who's the host? Who are these girls? What the whatever? It's not a comforting place for me anymore. So I think I'm done.
Yes.
Right? And
yes,
I have
yes, yes,
many
yes, yes.
other comforting women fighting shows to watch. So
Now, here's the breaking news that nobody knows about this, okay? With that being said, right, this is what television has turned into. It is all game shows or reality shit or whatever. It is the cheapest to shoot. You don't have to pay the talent. Very minimal crew on this. You can keep the budgets way down, and the ratings have been higher than your traditional sitcoms or one-hour dramas. So they're stuffing in celebrities now into all of these. They're hosting all these game shows. doing all of this shit because they need a paycheck now that they're not doing sitcoms and everything else anymore. This is going to shock you.
What?
Okay? And I don't know what's worse. So Chris Harrison also will not return to Bachelor in Paradise. Instead, it is going to be David Spade.
Oh, shit, I saw that.
So
is it Bachelor in Paradise, or he's going to do Bachelor as well?
he's going to do Bachelor in Paradise, and they're going to let these chicks ride out this one, and then he's going to do Bachelor in Paradise. But look, David Spade, who I like, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he's very funny. He's always been funny. Weird guy in real life, but he's a funny
What's up?
dude.
What does this mean for Lights Out? It's my favorite show.
Lights Out is on Comedy Central?
With David Spade.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's Lights Out.
They've canceled. It's Lights Out. They've canceled
If it was your
every
favorite
live
show,
action
Giorgio,
show
you would know
except
that.
for the Daily Show there. No, actually, it was coming back. It was up for another season, and now it's not.
Poser. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a weird flex, right?
But David
my
Spade
favorite show,
has said
Lights Out.
controversial shit more controversial than Chris Harrison, for Christ's sakes.
Has he?
Yeah.
What?
On SNL, everything else he's done, like, dude, you watch the show, like, he was funny as shit. He says all kinds of fucked up shit.
But this is what I mean is I think if you're willing to play ball, you can do it. And I think Chris Harrison, and I hope, and in my mind, I see him going, dude, fuck this shit.
I think so, too.
And
I think so,
I
too.
live in Austin and whatever, and like, fuck this shit. And I'm done. Like, I'm not going to play ball. Do you want me or not?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we need you to do this and this. And he goes, no.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yes, if David Spade is willing to like play ball, apologize, whatever, sure, they'll take anyone that's willing to bow down and be their little bitch.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think David Spade has ever bowed down. It's the same thing we always talk about. If you're a dirtbag your entire career, nobody cares because there's nowhere to go because you're like, oh, well, I could try to cancel you for like, what, the last 30 years of things you've said? No, you're a dirtbag. You've always been a dirtbag. Whereas Chris Harrison had this clean-cut image that got dirtied by all this other bullshit, and then they were like, fuck you, you're out. With Spade hosting Bachelor in Paradise, now that I'm all in for. I've always wanted somebody on there to make fun of these people, and hopefully they do. I hope he gets on there and just says, Jesus Christ, are you crying again?
Yeah.
Are you crying again? How drunk
Yeah.
did you get last night? Like,
Yeah.
it would be like if I hosted the goddamn show. It'd be like, look,
I hope so.
whatever whoever your name is, Kim or whoever is on the show during the season.
Right.
Like, Kim, you were really whorish last night. And you know that, right? You peed all over the lounge chair next to the pool. We have that on video. You were very whorish.
Right.
How do you feel about your actions? And then the tears. And it's just the waterworks and all the shit, right? Who you want to... Oh, is it Jack Mandeville?
Oh.
Shit. Tell Mandeville to come in here. What's he doing here on a Tuesday? Tell him to come on in.
Anyways,
Yeah. We'll put him on camera. Come on in, Jack.
Mom's got to get her hair done. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, Jack, will you do me a favor and just take your shirt off and then come into camera for the people? They need to see it. Friday nights, we do the Friday Night Jack sesh on Patreon.
We just exploit his gorgeous body all the
There
time.
it is. There it is.
He's trying.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in behind me here. Come on in behind Papa Bear. And there it is.
Jack.
Look at this. Look at that.
Love you.
So this is his outfit for Patreon on Friday nights, the Friday Night Jack Sesh. It is a call-in show.
Oh, the
and
arms, too.
go sideways, too. Go sideways so they can see the whole...
We need a profile, Jack.
Profile, Jack. Turn sideways.
Jack.
Sideways, Jack. Sideways. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice. Is that the light, or did you have some type of sunburn there? Pull your hand away.
It might just be a circulation thing.
Ah, yeah, just circulation.
Oh no, he has some color. He got some color.
He got some
on
color.
His face.
Jack
All
is
right,
Jack
Jack.
is not single, so do not send any tit
No,
pics
no,
to
no,
at
no.
Jack Mandeville
No,
on
no.
Instagram. He is with a girlfriend, very very serious, and he's getting warmed up here.
Lockdown.
He's getting warmed up here.
Lockdown.
Very very proud of you, Jack.
All right,
How are you?
Jack. Now
How are you? Who'd you bring with you today? Who do you got here? Come on in, pop on in.
Scott Davidson from Burbiz.
Oh, Scott Davidson. That's right. Shit, that's our 2:00
Okay.
show. What do you have, Scott? That's signed? No way.
Shut.
Shut the fuck up. I tell you what, we should do this on Drinking Bros. Yeah. Let's unveil this. If that's what I think it is. Oh my God, dude.
Oh my God, unveil
Oh
that.
my God.
Unveil that
That's
on
the
Drinking
that
Bros.
that might be the greatest gift of all time.
Stay tuned, guys.
How did you get that? Oh, Burbis.
Oh, love it.
Burbis.
All right, well, I'll let you get to that show.
Yeah.
And Mom needs to get her hair done.
Real quick, Burbiz at the end of this show. Burbiz is what are the days of those?
It's going to be Thursday.
4 to 8 p.m. Where at? In San Antonio.
Las Vegas at SHOT Show, January 18th at the House of Blues.
Great.
That one
Next
was
January.
Fun. We did that one.
Yes, it was a blast.
It was
Burbiz
2
is
years
awesome.
ago now, but it was so fun. I wanted
Thursday
to
in
just stay
San
there all night.
Antonio, helping veterans. It's great. It's a great event. Great people. Man, we had a blast with in SHOT Show with these guys too.
But
a couple years
tomorrow,
ago.
where is it tomorrow?
It's in San Antonio on Thursday.
Oh, San Antonio. Okay.
Yeah, it was just close. It's like an hour from here.
Perfect.
Real quick, I know you have to get out of here, but this Ellie Kemper thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
You've been to that,
personal
right?
experience.
Yeah,
Bob.
I've been to the Veiled Prophet Ball before,
Okay.
which it is a very well-to-do event. Like, so my family, it's funny, like my parents are lawyers, but I always joke, like, we're the poorest people in the Fox family because everyone else, they're like government bureaucrat lawyers.
Right.
Everyone
Sure.
else is doctors, like literally everyone else is doctors pretty much. Or they're in oil. So
Yeah.
and my family, when I told them at like Christmas or we had like Christmas party, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the VP ball. And they're like, oh, you're fancy.
You made
Ooh.
it, son.
Yeah, so it's definitely a fancy event, and I will admit, I have a higher tolerance for weird ornate shit like that because I'm both Catholic and was in a fraternity.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, of course.
Same.
The
Yeah.
weird tradition.
But it's not a
whatever.
it's not a KKK ball, right?
No,
That's
like-
what they were saying
no.
online.
But
Lit-
it's rooted in when
100
it started.
100+ years ago,
Yep.
it was classist. It was honestly more classist and then sort of racist by default
Sure.
because of they
we
weren't
call that systematic. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they weren't in love with Irish people or anything back then.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I'm not to be like, oh, the Irish were oppressed too, but like, it really was like for the WASPs.
Oh yeah.
Like you had to have a certain amount of
100%,
money. Your
yeah.
name had to be something. Like that's what it was,
Yeah.
right?
Even building the railroad during the Transcontinental Railroad era, it was the Chinese and the Irish who were out there, and they were like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah. And so the event itself was just like, if you've been to a pretty fancy wedding and you've been to a graduation, you've been to that event.
Yes. And the other part of this is she just released finally after 3 or 4 days an apology. Look, she was. If you don't know who it is, it's Kimmy Schmidt. She was on 30 Rock.
Yeah, she was on The Office. She's
amazing.
Yes.
And she was 19 years old at this thing that was clearly a tradition in Missouri. Bob has been there, so he's super racist too.
Yeah, I mean, we all are. It started as like a white power event, but then like 20 years after that, somewhere in the 70s or 80s, it rebranded, transitioned over, and they wanted to keep the history of the ball together. It is also the biggest ball in St. Louis.
Okay.
Or in Missouri so far. Like
Yeah.
to be the belle of that ball is a huge deal in the Midwest. So
Sure.
Yeah.
And
It's
one thing that I think was funny about this that a lot of people didn't realize, including people that worked with Ellie Kemper, they didn't know how rich she was. She clearly came from like a
Got it,
nice
got it.
suburban family.
that's
now we do.
probably what they're more pissed about.
Now we
right?
do,
She
yeah.
is the amount of shit named Kemper in the state of Missouri, like buildings, museums. I'm a customer of her family's bank.
Still,
My
to this
parents,
day.
my parents
Yeah.
use her bank. I use
Yeah.
her family's bank. Like, they're the biggest bank, and I know it doesn't sound like that much. Like, biggest banking family in Missouri. Wow, fucking great.
No,
but
that's
like
a lot of money.
Yeah,
A lot of money. And
I think
she's
that
so
was the main
talented.
thing,
She's so
and-
talented. It
and I
supersedes
didn't want
that.
her to say anything because, like, she didn't have anything. She wasn't promoting anything, right? So
No.
there was nothing that they could like cancel her from. She's not currently filming anything, right? So in that respect, you lay low and let it.
It
if
was
you're in the
20
middle of-
years ago or something like that. Like
Sure.
99.
Yeah. Yes. Like what the fuck?
Was
and
99 20 years ago?
yeah,
22?
22 years ago. 22 years ago. So.
I gotta go.
With that, Ellie Kemper releases apology this morning. That was like, even though I was 19, I should have better educated myself. This is my fault, blah, 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 blah.
Nope.
No, you shouldn't. You were 19 years old.
You're rich as fuck.
In 1999, no one was looking into the history of everything they did in life and being like, well, man, maybe I should change this.
We all sort of knew that there was a blanket, 100 years ago, like pretty much anything you did 100 years ago was super racist. Going to a diner, fucking all these things. So there was just sort of this underlying, like, we know that about everything.
Yeah.
We don't know specifically which thing. I mean, you can probably guess a plantation thing.
Right.
Don't do that.
But I mean, like, are we going to hold someone who was a homecoming king of any fucking university responsible?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like that was classically all white,
Right.
always, right? So
Look, it is, in my opinion, it is fine to keep the same events if you were changing as a culture and people. Why cancel the fucking things? Just show that you're growing and changed, and then fucking like that's all you can expect out of people. What do you want them to burn down everything, just build new shit, and be like, whoa, we need new traditions now. We're all
I think
fucking.
it would be great to just get a certificate of like I've learned and I've grown.
Oh, God.
Whatever that class is,
Yeah.
right? Get your certificate, and then you can just be like, I know
Some
what
sort
I'm
of
doing.
card? Like
Maybe a card.
Yeah,
a
like a-
certificate folded up in the wallet. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
like a darker colored card. I'm not really
Laminated,
sure what you
yeah.
would call that.
Laminated.
Something.
Lemonade,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just a second wallet for your vaccine
yes,
card,
yes.
and
Yes,
and
yes,
every
yes.
time you've done your whatever like got certified for the mistake
For
you
whatever
made.
thing. 24 months.
Just a
to
blanket
not say
statement.
The N-word, right?
Yeah, blanket statement there. Proud of you, Papa John.
It will actually be a Papa John's card, is what you should get, probably,
grace.
right? And
One
it
free
comes
pizza
with-
once you've completed the
You're
course that you
welcome.
can take on your iPhone.
Yeah.
And then it lights up green,
Yep.
and you can just show it to people at the
You're
club
welcome.
that know you're woke.
Yeah, you're woke. You're
You're
woke.
welcome to everyone for my brilliant ideas.
Paul, webmaster of Doom, just gave Jack $20 for going shirtless.
I
we
love
We
it.
do pay Jack for that show to go shirtless on Friday nights. Drinking Bros Patreon. We are back, kids, on Ross Patterson Revolution. Please go to iTunes and rate the show a 5-star and leave a quick review. It is the only thing that helps keep us in the charts and all that other stuff. We really appreciate it. Jabes.
Yes.
Nice to be back. Thank you,
Nice to be
USAA. Thank you for fixing the house.
Getting
and,
our family back together.
Making it an easy process. Again, not a sponsor, just a fan, and super grateful. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Buenos noches, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I think I said